It's a massive shocker from Karnataka Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar, followed by half-hearted apology after Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar said when rape is inevitable, the victim should lie down and enjoy it. He delivered his version of a half-hearted apology, saying he will apologize just because his comments have sparked a controversy. The Congress MLA is also seen casually smiling during his apology. Kumar's inexplicable comments were received with laughter instead of it being opposed in the assembly when they were made. The remark has made women activists fume with demands of this MLA to be sacked by the Congress. Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala has tweeted to say the party disapproves the exchange of highly objectionable and insensitive banter. This isn't the first time Ramesh Kumar has made such shocking comments about rape. In the past, he compared himself to a rape victim. The comments raise important questions, including whether this comment has dented Priyanka Gandhi's Women First mission and if Gandhi is going to in fact denounce him. Nolan Pinto is getting us more details on that big story. Well, after a lot of coaxing and outrage, Nolan, and rightly so, the Congress put out a statement saying that they do not support a statement of this nature by their MLA. But the fact remains that will the Congress now walk the talk, given the fact that in the upcoming assembly elections in UP, for example, they have made some claims about how they're going to go about supporting women and how they stand with women and their rights. They're all for their rights, isn't it?
Well, let's put it this way. Ramesh Kumar, he's an MLA as of now. He was a former speaker. He has done something in the past as well. That was in February 2019. He was a speaker then, no action was taken against him. There itself, he didn't come out openly and apologize. It was, he regretted the statement. Even in this particular case, on the floor of the House, in order to help his party, he said that in case he has hurt the feelings of women, not just over here, but every nook and cranny of the country. He expresses his regrets and he says that he's already been condemned beforehand, and what he said was taken out of context as such, and hence he's actually apologizing. Now, this apology is not that, yes, I made a mistake and I'm apologizing. No, it is because you felt it is wrong, and that is why I don't have an ego, and hence I will apologize. Now, most of the women MLAs in the House from the BJP and the Congress wanted to speak on this particular matter. In fact, when the bell rung, the speaker allowed Ramesh Kumar to speak. The women MLAs from both the parties actually started shouting, demanding their right to address the House on this issue. They wanted an apology from all the members as such. But the speaker said that after Ramesh Kumar has spoken, he's apologized. There's no need to drag this issue further, and there ended everything. But many of them state that it's not just Ramesh Kumar, but both the speaker and the former speaker who have to be actually taken to task. Ramesh Kumar for that very obnoxious, insensitive statement that he has made, and the speaker for just basically laughing it out. He was also complicit in this.
Absolutely. Nolan, be with us. We'll just come back to you. A series of political reactions have been coming in on this rather shocking statement. Listen in.
Those gentlemen who belong specially to a particular party, one of their representatives yesterday said and made remarks about women which need to be condemned by every public representative. If you truly believe in the cause of women, first stand here and denounce that legislator.
I never expected such a statement from Ramesh Kumar. It's a shameful attitude, and I will condemn his statement.
On the floor of Assembly, if such statement is made, it is not fair at all, it is not good at all. It is not in good taste.
I think it is so disgraceful and shameful for you all to trivialize what a woman goes through. It is unfortunate that these elected representatives who are supposed to be speaking up for the women of their constituencies and speak up for the women of Karnataka mock the very struggle that women have been going through to get themselves empowered and keep themselves safe.
Don't they know that rape is the most heinous, brutal violence and crime on women and their bodies? Why should this man continue to represent women?
Now, the Congress MLA's shocking rape remarks were made on the very day that the country remembered the brutal gang rape of Nirbhaya. Here's what Nirbhaya's father had to say.
जो व्यक्ति असेंबली में बैठ कर ये बात कह सकता है तो हमारे समझ में तो यह कि कांग्रेस का नेता नियुक्त इसीलिए हो रहा है ना, ऐसे लोग बैठे हुए हैं तो ये उनको दूर दूर तक दिखाई नहीं दे रहा कि हम कहाँ पे खड़े हैं। आज असेंबली में बैठे हैं, कल उतर जाएंगे तो उनको सब पता लग जाएगा। और ऐसे ही कोई भी सरकार नहीं चाहती कि हमारे राज्य में कोई दुर्घटना हो या ऐसी कोई बातें हो, लेकिन ये इतने बढ़े चढ़े लोग हैं, इतने मानसिकता के गिरे हुए लोग हैं कि क्या हमें तो नहीं समझ, क्या अपने बहन बेटियों के साथ भी ऐसे ही कहते हो कि एंजॉय किया करो। तो ये बहुत ओछी मानसिकता है और ऐसे लोगों की वजह से ही सरकारें जाती है।
Nolan is getting asked more on that. Nolan, in fact, I want to ask you on what the sense really is within the state unit of the Congress also. Does it appear that the Congress could, walk a step further and take action against him, given that this is, he's not really a first-time offender, isn't it?
Well, Sneha, it doesn't look like the Congress will take any sort of action. In fact, it's a mixed bag of opinions within the Congress itself. Now, one of the senior Congress leaders, who was also a former minister, H.K. Patil, stated that Ramesh Kumar, when we asked him, he said that Ramesh Kumar merely read out or spoke out a statement, an opinion from a literature piece. And you are feeling it that way because you are trying to ask the questions in that way. This is your understanding, he says. So many of them believe that what Ramesh Kumar said was not what he actually wanted to mean. It was something else. But it is the women MLAs from the party who last night itself took to social media initially condemning over this particular statement that he made, both Ramesh Kumar as well as the speaker. This morning as well, you had senior Congress leaders, especially Anjali Nimbalkar, the MLA, who actually wanted to speak about this on the floor of the House, but was not allowed. Last time around, she actually took up the matter when the Home Minister also made a very insensitive remark when it comes to rape. But doesn't look like the Congress party will actually take any sort of action. For them, he has now apologized on the floor of the House, so case closed.
Rajesh Kalappa is joining us. Thank you for your time, Mr. Kalappa. Hugely embarrassing statement. I don't think anybody can, justify what has been said by Ramesh Kumar. I mean, and that too in the Assembly, with others really, finding it funny, but it certainly isn't funny. Should the Congress not sack him and send out a message that this is not acceptable?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Kalappa.
Yeah, no, see, Mr. Ramesh Kumar has himself already apologized for it. Even the General Secretary, Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala, has also tweeted about it and said that this kind of a statement ought not to have been made, and it's highly objectionable that such a statement has been made. And as far as the Congress party is concerned, we have also apologized for it, and we feel that, such a statement ought never to have been made. This is not in the spirit of one parliamentary democracy. It was highly misogynistic and completely anti-women. And such a statement is something which cannot be tolerated in civil society. This is something,
Mr. Kalappa, I understand when you say that you don't support the statement. Nobody in the Congress does support the statement. But Ramesh Kumar seems to be a habitual offender. He's made these statements in the past as well. Nolan, our colleague, was telling us about it a while ago. But should the Congress not send out a message? Is an apology good enough, really?
No, what message? Like I told you, one, he has himself apologized. Two is the fact that the General Secretary has already said that such a statement ought not to have been made. Now, what more do you think the Congress party could do? We don't mind considering it.
You don't mind saying...
There is more the Congress party should do, we don't mind doing
disciplinary
it.
action,
Like
sack him? Is that something the Congress is ready to do?
Sorry, sack him?
Yes. Disciplinary action against him. Is there an option?
After he has apologized.
Yes, after he has apologized. I'm asking you this specifically because he's not a first-time offender, and that's my only reason to ask you this question. Should the Congress leadership not sack him, especially because... Yes, Mr. Kalappa, and also I'm being joined by Mr. S. Prakash. Mr. Prakash, welcome to the show. Be with us. Mr. Kalappa is on the other end of the line. Mr. Kalappa.
Yeah, see, insofar as this statement is concerned, I think after apology is concerned, and after a very craven apology, I think, according to me, it's highly unnecessary to, ask for anybody's sacking. But certainly the point is that Mr. Ramesh Kumar is also not a young person. He's also about 70. So at this stage, I think if he has asked for an apology and he has meant it in a heartfelt fashion, I think it ought to be considered. I think sacking is something which, certainly is not the way out.
Okay, be with us, Mr. Kalappa. S. Prakash, your reaction to what Mr. Kalappa says, that he's a senior citizen at the end of the day and he's apologized. So let it be. Sacking perhaps is not an option that one should consider.
No, senior citizen does not entitle him to speak whatever he comes to the mind. And this is not the first time he made such a remark. This is the second time he has made this. While he was the Speaker of the Assembly also, he did the same thing. Now as a member of the House also, he has made a similar comment. It is even worse this time actually. Lie down. He has added one more word to it. So the Congress party, at least they should admonish him. Their high command should speak to him and warn him such loose talk will not be tolerated by the party. However, their culture is different and we can't expect anything better from them.
All right, Mr. Prakash, thank you for your time. And Mr. Brajesh Kalappa also, thank you for joining us. With your perspective on that story, the BJP says that the Congress leadership should at least speak with him and send out a message that this is not acceptable, amidst many political leaders coming out and saying that strict action should be taken against Ramesh Kumar for those comments.